Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News Midday starts now.
Good morning and thanks for tuning in to this special edition of 23 ABC News. I'm Danielle Kern.
And I'm Mike Hart. We are continuing to follow that breaking news involving the reported arrest of the man accused of killing a Newman police officer in Northern California. Now, there has been notifications from Stanislaus County and Kern County of press conferences that are going to be held back to back. The first one beginning in just a few minutes as you're looking at a live picture right now from Newman, California. Stanislaus County officials preparing to begin their press conference to talk about the arrest of this suspected cop killer.
Now, although there have been no official confirmations of any details surrounding this case, there has been a major development involving Kern County's involvement.
Let's bring in 23 ABC's Alyssa Flores. She's standing by live at the Kern County Sheriff's Department with more on what we know right now. Alyssa?
Yeah, Mike, Danielle, although nothing has been confirmed yet, KCSO has been unable to confirm their exact involvement in this investigation. But we have since this morning seen a Stanislaus County Sheriff's vehicle arriving here at the Kern County Sheriff's Office headquarters. Of course, Kern County Sheriff's Office is going to be holding a press conference at 1 o'clock with details that they call significant in this investigation to the police officer that was killed in Northern California. Of course, like we mentioned, we cannot confirm those reports, and neither can authorities that the suspect has been found here in Kern County, but we have since seen a Stanislaus County Sheriff's vehicle here at the Kern County Sheriff's headquarters. And of course, Stanislaus County Sheriff's the agency that's leading the investigation in the killing of that police officer. That press conference expected to get started here at 1 following the press conference that Stanislaus County Sheriff's Office is going to be holding. So we're going to be bringing you a live stream of both of those press conferences shortly.
All right, Alyssa, thank you for that. Once again, that press conference in Stanislaus County in Newman, California is slated to begin in just a few moments. We're going to cut into that live and carry that complete press conference coming up in just a few moments.
That's right. Now, KCSO is telling us they're going to be holding a press conference in a little bit after that at 1 o'clock. And they're saying that they have significant developments as well. That's again following the press conference that's at noon that we're about to go to at the Stanislaus County Sheriff's Office. There's
been a lot of activity in Kern County this morning, especially near Lamont, where a large presence of sheriff's investigators have been going through an area just off Weed Patch Highway since early this morning. We have 23 ABC's Emma Lockhart out live at that location with more on what they're doing. Emma?
Yeah, just to give you some perspective as to exactly where I am, just off of Weed Patch Highway and Brooks Lane between Bakersfield and Lamont. I'm going to step out of the way so you guys can see this scene. Police have now, KCSO has now left this scene. They took down the police tape, so it looked like there was an investigation going on. We believe that investigation was related to the alleged Stanislaus cop killer. We have no confirmed information at this time, but we believe it is related. Now, a woman I spoke to earlier says that she was woken up. She lives in this area. She says that she was woken up to loud noises and a heavy police presence.
They told me to go back inside, and then I came out like about 20 minutes later, and the SWAT team was coming out. They're driving their trucks back out, and they were coming down here, and you see a bunch of, like armed men running down the roadway here, and that's it.
Now, it is unknown at this time if that alleged cop killer was arrested at this scene, if he was here at all, but we believe that this investigation is related to that alleged cop killer. Now, no police presence on scene right now. They just took the police tape, drove away moments ago, but Sheriff Donnie Youngblood is set to have a press conference at 1 p.m. related to this case. We'll be live streaming that on all of our social media platforms and bring you the very latest on this case as more information comes into our newsroom. Reporting live, Emma Lockhart, 23 ABC News.
All right, very good. Thank you, Emma.
All right, so The main reason that we are coming on the air right now on this digital platform is to talk about what's been going on all day, because there's a lot of confusion. An original post from the former Turlock City Councilman Ted Howes has confirmed. He was the one that posted that that's where that man was accused of killing a Northern California police officer.
That's right. And the arrest reportedly, all the information we have been gathering, happened here in Kern County, just outside Lamont. You can see they're getting ready. They're bringing in all the officials from Stanislaus County to begin this press conference. We're going to join them in a moment. There's been a lot of confusion, a lot of posting on social media throughout the morning regarding the identity, the name of this suspect. So we are just about ready. And so there have been a lot of names being thrown around. And the only thing the Sheriff's Department would say at this time was that was part of the confusion this morning as to trying to eliminate names and aliases. So let's join the press conference right now up in Newman, California.
Can everybody hear us okay? Mic's good, camera's good. Are you ready to roll? Ready. Very good. Good afternoon and welcome to the Stanislaus County Sheriff's Office. My name is Sheriff Adam Christensen. Joined with me today, the Chief of Police from Newman, Randy Richardson, and Officer Ron Singh's family, along with others representing law enforcement. We also have Assembly Member Heath Flora, Annette Reese from the District Attorney's Office. This is a show of unity and solidarity. It speaks to the relationships and partnerships that exist in helping to protect our community. Before I introduce Officer Singh's brother, I am pleased and very proud of the fact that the suspect is in custody. He has been apprehended in Bakersfield. He was safely taken into custody earlier today by teams from the Kern County Sheriff's Office and many other law enforcement agencies who have helped us relentlessly pursue this suspect in pursuit of justice. Gustavo Perez Arriaga, 33 years old, again, was arrested earlier today during the execution of a search warrant. He was found at a residence in the Bakersfield, Kern County area, and we'll get into the specifics of that. First, I want to introduce Officer Ron Singh's brother, Reggie. He'd like to share a few words with all of you.
Please bear with me. This is not easy for me. Ronil Singh was my older brother. Yes, he's not coming back, but there's a lot of people out there that misses him. And a lot of law enforcement people that I don't know that work days and nights to make this happen. I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart to make this happen. I wish I could thank all the law enforcement agencies, Homeland Security in San Francisco, everyone, Bakersfield team. I was waiting for this to happen. I'd like to thank you, working day and night to make this happen. Thank you.
On behalf of the Newman Police Department and the City of Newman, we are extremely grateful for all the help and support that we've received over the past few days. Without our brothers in law enforcement and sisters in law enforcement, this would have never happened. We don't have the resources to make this happen. And without even a blink of an eye, they came to our aid and they were able to catch the suspect and bring him into custody. This is new for our department. I know it was shared yesterday. This hasn't happened in the City of Newman in the history of the police department. Many people have gone above and beyond to help us out. Overwhelming support from the community. The overwhelming emails, phone calls, text messages. We haven't returned all of them, and you just have to bear with us. We're going to try to get back to everybody. It's going to take some time. But thank you. Thank you all for everything you did. The team that took him into custody in Kern County, we greatly appreciate what you did for us. Stanislaus County Sheriff's Department, tirelessly working, keeping us updated throughout the night. we'll always be in your debt. Thank you very much.
So let's talk a little bit about the investigation and where it's going to go from here, and then I'll open it up to questions. Obviously, I shared with you yesterday that we were going to relentlessly pursue this criminal. I told you that we would spare no expense and that every resource available to us would be brought to bear. That doesn't happen without relationships. That doesn't happen without partnerships. And so while I will probably miss some of them, I'm going to hit the highlights. Our federal law enforcement partners, DHS, ICE, the FBI, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, all of them came to our aid. Task forces, you name it, I had it available at our disposal. Our state and local law enforcement partners, yesterday when we knew that our suspect was in Kern County, one phone call to Sheriff Donnie Youngblood, and he told me, Sheriff, whatever you need, because that's how sheriffs roll. We work together to pursue justice for crime victims. In this case, for Officer Singh. His teams rolled out. We had these locations, even though I told you that there were multiple investigative leads and locations that we've been working on. All of our teams rolled out. We had people under surveillance. We identified those locations. Search warrants were executed. And earlier today, Sheriff Youngblood's team, along with ours, his tactical team, was able to safely take Mr. Arriaga into custody. We have also arrested two of his brothers. And remember, I told you yesterday that anybody who aids and helps this criminal was going to go to jail. So we also have Eric Juarez and Adrian Vergen, who have gone to jail because they intentionally lied to us. They tried to divert us off the investigation. They misled us. They provided information that was false, all in an attempt to protect their brother, who we also know was trying to flee to Mexico. That was his goal, to get across the border. This criminal, Mr. Arriaga, crossed our border illegally into Arizona some time ago. He is a criminal. He has 2 prior arrests for DUI. Remember, that's the reason that Officer Singh stopped him, because we had probable cause to believe that he was under the influence of alcohol. Past behavior is typically a predictor of future behavior, and an officer loses his life over a DUI stop from someone who's been previously arrested. Mr. Arriaga also has known gang affiliation. Norteño street gangs, Sureño street gangs. He claims to be a Sureño. All you have to do is take a look at social media, which, by the way, got way ahead of us again, and there's plenty of photographic evidence on and in social media, Facebook, and other platforms that clearly shows him self-promoting himself as a gangster. So, while we absolutely need to stay focused on Officer Singh's service and sacrifice, we can't ignore the fact that this could have been preventable. And under SB 54 in California, based on 2 arrests for DUI and some other active warrants that this criminal has out there, law enforcement would have been prohibited from sharing any information with ICE about this criminal gang member. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not how you protect a community. This is not how you assure the people who live in our community, regardless of their ethnicity, their culture, their race, any of that, that they live in a safe community. Because there are people who want to exploit and victimize others. And in this case, Officer Singh sacrificed everything. He paid the ultimate price trying to protect and serve the people of Newman. We need to have a conversation about that. Now, from this point forward, we have a lot of work left to do. There's an incredible amount of work, investigative work, that we have left in order to deliver a prosecutable case to our district attorney, Birgit Flatiger. Potentially, this could be a capital case. We don't know. But this isn't something that is going to be done anytime soon. Certainly, the arrest of Mr. Arriaga does bring some closure to the family. certainly helps the Newman Police Department and the community in Newman. But make no mistake, we're going to continue this investigation until we have everything presentable so that we can prosecute Mr. Arriaga for his crime. Obviously, there's a lot of misinformation and other information that is being spread, widely shared on social media. Everybody has an opinion, and that's okay. Remember, if you don't hear it from us, be cautious about the validity and the valid parts of information that you may see or hear. At this point, I'm happy to answer any questions you might have, and remember that I'm not going to get into great detail here. Again, it's still an ongoing investigation. Yes?
Sheriff, it says that Eric Quiroz is the suspect's coworker, not brother, right?
I'm told they are both brothers. Am I wrong?
No, it's Quiroz is the coworker.
I'm sorry, Eric Quiroz is the coworker.
Sheriff, when you picked up the suspect, did he say anything to you?
I wasn't there. He didn't say anything to me, and even if he made spontaneous statements, we wouldn't get into that.
Can you describe how they went about capturing him? What was the layout?
The location has been under surveillance for at least the last 24 hours. It resulted in a vehicle that we were tracking. We kept that residence under constant surveillance, including surveillance from airships, air support units that were allocated. Again, my thanks to the Highway Patrol. They allocated their airship out of Fresno. We had our air support unit and others, so there was no way that car or this location was not going to be under anything other than constant surveillance.
Sheriff,
yes, ma'am.
Sheriff, did tips come in? Did people in the community try to help?
Yes, we've received hundreds of tips, and we log every single one of those that come into our tip line, and we investigate each and every one of them.
Sheriff, you said one of the suspects is a coworker?
How long has the suspect been in the country illegally, and where did he work? You talked about a coworker being arrested.
Well, we know that he has been a farm laborer. We know that he works or has worked at dairies. It's probably just a laborer type environment. There's been no long-term consistent employer that we're aware of, and he's been in this country for several years. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I was going to ask, where did he work?
Where
the coworker came from?
Miscellaneous jobs related to just labor industry type work.
Can you confirm that he's from Colima, Mexico originally?
I cannot. Is there something else?
Mexico originally?
He is from Mexico.
Sure. Were the other two suspects that you have arrested, were they also here illegally?
Yes.
Both of them?
Yes.
Sheriff, the car that you were tracking, does that
yes.
belong to the brother or the coworker or someone in the family, and that's how you were able to track?
We're still working on that.
Sheriff, can you just explain a little bit more? You talk about these two other suspects and
yes.
how they tried to throw you guys off. How did that happen?
We had them in custody and asked for their cooperation, and they lied to us.
Sheriff, the previous DUI arrest you were talking about, can you say where that was?
Yeah, Madera County, Chowchilla area.
You said
yes.
There were 2 DUI arrests?
Yes,
and
2.
Why the multiple names? Did you have aliases? It took a while to confirm all.
People who are criminals, or typically those who operate in that element, especially gang members, use multiple aliases. He had multiple Facebook pages with different names. And again, all of that is out there. It's publicly available.
Was he alone during the shooting?
I'm sorry?
So the two other suspects, where were they arrested, and was Gustavo Arriaga alone during the shooting?
To your first question, the other 2 were arrested south of Stanislaus County and brought here for questioning. At this point, yes, we believe that Arriaga was alone when he committed the crime.
Have you established in your mind a motive for why this happened?
No, not yet, and it probably wouldn't be appropriate for me to speculate.
Sheriff, Arriaga, you say he was in this country for, do we believe that he was deported once before and then?
I don't have any information yet on prior deportations. I simply want to focus on the fact that this is a criminal illegal alien with prior criminal activity that should have been reported to ICE. We were prohibited, law enforcement was prohibited because of sanctuary laws, and that led to the encounter with Officer Singh. I'm suggesting that the outcome could have been different if law enforcement wasn't restricted, prohibited, or had their hands tied because of political interference.
Sheriff, it's a brother who was, can you clarify that though? So you're saying that he was previously released after a DUI arrest?
Twice.
Twice, and had he been deported, this wouldn't have happened?
Potentially. If he wasn't here, then he wouldn't have been driving drunk, and it wouldn't have been reported to Officer Singh, and the encounter, the stop, the enforcement stop, potentially never would have occurred. My point is, why are we providing sanctuary for criminals, gang members? It's a conversation we need to have.
Sheriff, we have a brother here who's clearly
Distraught.
and yet a brother helped this alleged criminal. I mean, can we hear from him about how does this make you feel?
No, we're not going to do that. Anybody else?
I was going to ask him a question, maybe you can answer it. How does this affect Trump's agenda in the national scene? Is that please do
We're not. I'm not here to talk about the President of the United States, but I will repeat what I've said before. Border security goes hand in hand with national security, goes hand in hand with public safety, goes hand in hand with the safety of our community. We, law enforcement, need to be able, unrestricted, without political interference, we need to be able to protect our communities. We have a strong relationship in Stanislaus County with a variety of community stakeholders. We're not here to enforce federal immigration law. That's not our job. But law enforcement should be able to turn people over to ICE who are committing crimes, who are gang members, who victimize and exploit others.
I'm curious how the family feels about that.
We're not, no, the family's not going to speak.
Two more questions, please. Was the suspect armed?
Correct.
And conviction?
I don't know if he was convicted.
Sheriff, was the suspect armed when he was arrested?
No.
Sheriff, real quick, you said yesterday
It's okay,
that you
Tom.
had believed that the suspect was still in the area.
Yes.
Now we're hearing of an arrest in the Bakersfield area.
Correct.
At what time do you believe he tried to flee?
Don't know that for fact.
All right, you are listening to the press conference going on. Apologize for that. Stanislaus County Sheriff Adam Christensen, they're wrapping up his comments. As you can see, a very emotional press conference with the brother of the slain officer, Corporal Singh, standing there to the right on your screen right there. Let's jump back in real quick and see if we're going to get any final comments.
Is there a way you can give a bit more detail on the actual gun battle that you mentioned yesterday between the two?
No, wouldn't be appropriate. Remember, we have to absolutely protect the integrity and credibility of this investigation. I can't get into details. We need to be able to deliver a prosecutable case to the district attorney. And despite my position on legislation that does not protect our communities or promote trust, I still have to protect the suspect's right to a fair trial and to due process. So we're not going to violate that.
Sheriff, there are people that have said that this case is being politicized.
Of course it's being politicized. The last thing in the world I want to do is politicize the death of Officer Singh. But let's go back to Ron. An immigrant. Immigrated here lawfully and legally to pursue his American dream. He achieved that goal. And his dream was taken from him. No, we shouldn't politicize it, but we have to have a conversation about restrictive legislation that puts our communities at risk. I'm here to protect the people of Stanislaus County, regardless of who they are. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what their party affiliation is, their political preference. It doesn't matter. What matters is that everyone who lives in our community can enjoy a safe, healthy, vibrant, diverse community. It's that simple. I'll take two more and then we're done.
When you see Ron's brother clearly so distraught,
Yeah, it is heartbreaking. I'm heartbroken too. Yes.
Is the department currently seeking out anyone else who may have aided or abetted the suspect?
We're looking at everybody involved, and again, as I told you yesterday, anybody who protects or who provided protection is going to go to jail.
Sheriff, this is his birthday. Is there any significance?
Happy birthday.
Sheriff, how did this happen? So we arrested the suspect this morning? His brother and co-worker both arrested this morning?
Yesterday.
Were arrested yesterday, okay.
Yes. Okay.
Safe to assume you want to see all three suspects prosecuted.
I want to see everybody prosecuted. I want justice for the Singh family. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here.
We will be posting, as a matter of fact, as this has been going on, we have posted the photographs on our Facebook page.
You are listening to the final comments. Again, this is the press conference that we were listening to, and they confirmed that Gustavo Perez Arriaga, 33 years old, was apprehended in Bakersfield earlier today. That was done by KCSO and many other law enforcement agencies. Now, they were saying that yesterday they found out the suspect was in Kern County. They said that they called Sheriff Donnie Youngblood, and he said, "Sheriff, quote, whatever you need."
That's right. And he also, as you heard, if you're just joining us, he praised Kern County's assistance in the apprehension of Gustavo Perez Arriaga. He is the man that now they are officially saying was suspected of killing Corporal Ron Singh of the Newman Police Department just a few days ago. And they also announced 2 other arrests. We can show you those names. There have been 3 people arrested in all. Now you have Arriaga, who is the man suspected of killing Corporal Ron Singh in Stanislaus County. Now, Arriaga has been on the run since Monday. He was arrested, taken into custody with the help of the Sheriff's Department. They say those 2 individuals right there, Adrian Virgin, Arriaga's brother, and Eric Razo Quiroz, a co-worker in some context. We're not quite sure where they work together, but they have been arrested and have been charged with being right now on charges of being an accomplice to this. And as you just heard at the end right there, the sheriff also saying that anyone associated with helping Arriaga in any way, shape, or form would be prosecuted. Now, we are, of course, awaiting at the top of the hour Kern County Sheriff Donnie Youngblood expected to speak with members of his staff and go over some of the details regarding the arrest of Arriaga that took place near Lamont. We're being told right off of Weed Patch Highway. They have cleared that scene since we brought that to you live at 11 o'clock. So we will be waiting for more information from them coming up at the top of the hour.
Also, just to briefly recap, SCSO Sheriff was also saying that Arriaga was planning on fleeing to Mexico, and he has been in the country illegally. He immigrated illegally into Arizona from Mexico several years ago. They were confirming that today.
That's right. Also mentioning that the reason that they suspected him in the first place and that traffic stop ever happened was because he had 2 prior arrests for DUI, and Corporal Singh was simply pulling him over under a DUI suspect there. So we are going to continue. We can show you, in fact, more information here as we continue to sort of glance over some of the details from this press conference, a very emotional press conference from everyone involved in this case. Of course, you saw Ron Singh's brother, who spoke for a very short time, just a couple of minutes, talking about what it meant, all the assistance, and in the arrest of Arriaga. Stanislaus Sheriff Adam Christensen saying at one point that Officer Singh sacrificed everything in this one. Make no mistake, we're going to continue this investigation until we have everything presentable so that we can prosecute Mr. Arriaga for this crime, saying that they were going to go after this as a capital case in this investigation.
They were also saying when Reggie Singh came up to talk, he was saying that he was his younger brother and that he just right away wanted to thank all law enforcement agencies who worked tirelessly day and night to catch this suspect.
All right, once again, the Kern County Sheriff's Department has scheduled a press conference of their own to go over details of that arrest coming up in just about 37 minutes. We will be carrying that live streaming across all of our digital platforms. We'll be sending out a push alert right before that begins.
Again, that's at 1 o'clock. Don't forget to tune in.